Hi, I'm Dr. Rachel Horrocks-Birss, and today we're talking about literature reviews. In this fourth video, we'll discuss how to structure and write your literature review. As you write your literature review, remember these three things. First, literature reviews are critical, not descriptive. They bring things together and analyze, rather than simply describing. Secondly, they're organized thematically. You need to bring sources together, not write about them separately. Finally, lit reviews are about the sources themselves, not about the topics. You're writing about the state of the field, not about the topic itself. In the rest of this video, we'll explore each of these ideas in a little more depth. To start, literature reviews are critical, not descriptive. We might assume that literature reviews are simply a summary of what other people have said, but they're actually much more than that. Instead of describing what a single article says, you'll bring together multiple articles and evaluate them. This means that you discuss their strengths and weaknesses and highlight any places where the authors agree or disagree. A crucial part of this is highlighting the gap. In the first video, we said that the gap is the part of the topic that no one has looked at yet, and that you're going to cover in your research. In your literature review, then, you want to make clear what everyone else has said, but also demonstrate that there is a need for further research. As an example, in your literature review, you could say that many authors have written about, say, developing an authentic brand as a small business. But you could also note that all of those studies are based in England or the US, and no one has yet done a study specifically on Scottish small businesses. Secondly, you should organize your literature review thematically, not source by source. Many students who are new to literature reviews simply create a list of sources and write about each one in order. But this isn't very effective. To help your reader understand the big picture of what people have said, you need to bring sources together and write about them in thematic paragraphs. There are a few possible ways to structure your review. Which one you choose will depend on your topic and the research you've done. First, if you have a topic where ideas about it have changed over time, you might want to adopt a timeline approach and talk about the sources in chronological order. This could be beneficial if you are, say, looking at how models of change management have developed over the past 100 years. In many cases, though, all your sources will be relatively recent. In this case, you might want to use a thematic approach, where you group sources into paragraphs or sections based on the sort of things they're saying. For example, if you're writing about Scotland's tourism industry, you could have a paragraph covering sources about transportation, another about accommodation, and another about historic sites. Or you could have two sections, one about the economic impacts and the other about culture. Just choose your themes based on the sources you find. Finally, if you're writing about a topic where people have very strong views, you might find that there are two, or three or four, contrasting opinions. For example, if you were writing about Scottish independence, you might want to group all the yes articles on one side and the no articles on the other. Whatever structure you choose, make sure it allows you to cover all the most significant articles and outline the main ideas or debates in your field. Finally, a literature review is about the sources, not the topic itself. This may sound like a silly distinction, but it's actually really important. If your topic is sustainability, for instance, your literature review shouldn't contain all the information about sustainability. Instead, it should tell your reader what things people are saying about sustainability, which may be slightly different. Primarily, a literature review covers what people are writing about. It should mention all the major articles in your field and refer to the most significant topics and debates. To help you highlight the gap, your literature review may also mention what people aren't saying. For example, maybe you found plenty of articles discussing the economic impact of the Dundee V&A Museum when it was built in 2018, but you haven't found anything following up to see if the economic boost has continued since then. In your literature review, you could highlight the need for more recent research. In this video, we've discussed how to write and structure your literature review. In our final video, we'll talk through several example paragraphs.